Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Let's share my screen. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. Testing, testing, testing. Sound, sound, sound. Karen is typing, so I guess you can hear me. All right, beautiful. You guys seeing the screen? You should be able to see the NASDAQ futures. Seen this grid? All right. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Okay, let me see who's in the room. We're going to give people a few. Everybody's crawling in here. Okay, excellent. Oh, damn it. Sorry. Participants, where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Okay. Hey, Carol, good morning. Demetrius, John, Crossi, Connie. Everybody's here. Okay, we're going to give everybody just a few more minutes to crawl in. I have I added a few more things for everybody to enjoy. Let me show this to you. So let's get to. Okay. By the way, you guys are here. I just want to make sure. Are you guys hearing Eurodollar buy reversal error? I don't like in Skype. You don't hear my sound unless I say you do. But do you hear sound in Zoom if my computer makes sound? I just want to make sure. You're not hearing it. Damn. Shit. How do we do that? How do I enable? Hold on. There's got to be some settings here. Share sound. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's see if on the next one, you hear my computer, putting out audible signals, because I think that was the reason everybody was confused. I thought everybody was hearing my audible signals, but you weren't hearing my audible signals. Okay. So, okay, let's just, first of all, go to BK Tools. Just wanted to let you know, in the Trader Toolbox, under the Arrow Trader, I added a few things. I added more wave files. So now there's DAX and Dow as well. So you can use DAX and Dow. Just all you got to do is remember, I'll show this to you again. You download every one of these files into a folder, and then you literally paste every one of them at once into the sounds folder of your MT4 or MT5 plate. And then you take every one of these templates, Eurodollar
sell continuation arrow.
Oh, wait, hold on. Damn, I forgot one. Oh, by the way, did you hear that? Eurodollar sell continuation arrow? Okay, perfect. All right, so we're in business on this. And I forgot the NASDAQ. Let me just hang on a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to get the NASDAQ. Damn, where's my NAS? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drop that over open data folder. I'm gonna upload that into templates, NAS, Control C, tools for 24, Control V. Okay, we're gonna upload files, NAS. Okay, so order of business. Let's assume and we're gonna have our CFD here for the time being. Let me get rid of this. So we don't need this. Okay, so this is the ACAP CFD. Whatever MT4 you're using or MT5 you're using, what you want to do is you want to go to you want to download all the WAV files, and you want to download all the templates. And then you want to go first, excuse me, into your Windows. See if you're, oh man, I'm sorry, something in my throat. If you're an MT4, you're going to go into the 86s. If you're an MT5, you're going to go into program files. But if you go into 86 on MT4, you're going to see your ACAP terminal or whatever broker you're using. Double click that, find the sounds folder, and just drop every one of those WAV files I gave you. Just drop them in, right?
NASDAQ continuation arrow.
Okay, NASDAQ has a continuation. Let's set up, we got NASDAQ trades. So let's set that up. That is a sell signal inside. We'll do this on futures. And, we'll do this on futures for right now on my account. See if that trips. This is the first trend signal, given to us. So we're going to see if we can trade that, even though it's obvious. Well, it's only 5 after 9. But anyways, if that triggers, that triggers. So first, you download the WAV files, drop them into the sounds folder. Then you go into your, let's do MT5 again. You go, you download your templates. Right? On your desktop or wherever you want to download it. Then you go open data folder. Where's my thing? Here it is. And you go open data folder. That will take you right to the templates folder of your MT4 that you're using, and just drop all the templates in there. Once you do that, you close it. They will instantaneously appear in your templates drop-down menu, and you just apply each template to the chart that's appropriate for it. Okay, and then they will make sounds. So it's super easy to run this, right? So that's that. Is that clear to everybody? All right, I'm glad we. Okay, excellent. All right, so I have the futes on one side. Might as well. We don't have a. I'm really going to try be very consistent to the instrument. Basically, the whole point is I really want to be consistent to the signals on the instrument. So right now, I don't have, because of pricing, we're always going to have discrepancy. I don't have pricing signals on the CFD. But I do have a pricing signal on futures. So I'm going to play the futures because I have a signal. But I actually, prior to this, had a pricing signal on CFDs that would have worked perfectly. So sometimes, like in a way, the CFD trade has already been done and has already, made money, whereas the futures trade just never triggered. And it's just the nature of the beast. We can't have perfect pricing. So we're going to have, and because it's a 1-minute chart, you're going to have discrepancies. This almost always disappears on a 5-minute chart or higher because the ticks smooth out much more. But on a 1-minute chart, you're going to get discrepancies. And we're just, I'm going to stay consistent to the broker that I'm trading with. So in this case, the futures give me the signal. If they get, if I get tripped into a signal here, I'll take it. If I don't get tripped, I don't take it. One other thing that I really want to focus on. So when you look at the CFDs here, there was trend, breakout, that would have resolved clearly. That would have resolved, super cleanly. And I actually cheated. I cheated on my futures. I saw the signal on CFDs. I didn't see it on futures, and I took it, and that resolved. Although it did give you lots of pain. But that's really, not the point I want to make. The much more interesting, the much more valuable analytical point I want to make is this. When we, I think it's much better illustrated on futures. It's much better illustrated on futures. So let's look at the futures example of it. So the order of business of how we want to do trading is trend, signal, trade, right? Trend, signal, trade. That's sort of like the TST. That's our motto, trend, signal, trade, right? But within that, there's one very, very interesting nuance, especially on the 1 minute charts, that I want everybody to be aware of. So trend, signal, and the trade in this example, would call for us, this essentially trips us in because it's just right above the sell arrow, right? It's the buy reversal candle, takes out and close above the high, just trips it, right?
NASDAQ continuation sell.
Okay, so continue. So I wonder if that's showing on the, yeah, it's showing on here too. Okay, so we'll see if this trips me into a trade. But the point being is, this would have tripped us into a trade if we just followed that blindly, which is trend, signal, trade. There's one thing you want to filter for. If the signal itself, is way, way, way above the blue line, just sort of really, really stretched out on a short-term basis, right? Then what you really want the trade to do is to beat not just the signal high, but the swing high. In other words, it had to, what you see here in this particular formation, and why
NASDAQ continuation sell.
Okay, so this triggered me into a trade. This obviously is triggering me off my NASDAQ futures trade, which is very, very late in the cycle. But I'm playing it because I want to, I want to take the signal. I want to stay true to the strategy, because I didn't have an early sell signal like I did in the CFDs. So now I have to give myself the time to come in very, very late, and that's a lower probability trade. But it did trip me into the trade. So let's see if that plays out, if that works out. But back to this idea where you're analyzing this, when you get a signal so far away from the moving averages, so high, then the standard shouldn't be just beating the high, it should be beating the swing high. If you have to put the breakout above here. That's how strong you have to have the move to justify the entry. And if you don't have that, then you would have passed up essentially a false signal, which is fine, which is really, really fine, right? So, that's how you play. Now, the other thing is, obviously, in a classically well done arrow trade, trend, signal, trade all follows very closely after each other. So you have trend, signal, trade right over here. If you are in a situation here where you have trend, no signal, because it just didn't appear on the futures, and then trade quite late, right? Your probability of success declines. Like right now, this is obviously, I'm taking this trade much more for informational, like much more for educational purposes than really for pure trade purposes, because this is late.
NASDAQ reverse buy.
Late in the cycle, and we have, as a matter of fact, here, a reverse buy trade in the cycle, and we're just gonna hedge this trade out. In other words, we don't want to be on this in this trade. Sorry, we're gonna take this out here like this. It's gotta. If this is, I'm basically hedging out this trade the other way, because I'm basically saying to myself, hey, if this is reversing, then I want to be on the other side of it and at least take some profit on one of my accounts, because clearly this is a very, very late trade, and it's much more likely that we get a reversal rather than a true continuation to the downside, because this was a very, very late signal, right? So now, I've hedged myself out. As you can see, the hedge is probably going to we'll see if the hedge works completely. So the hedge works, and now, and I get stopped out on the other side. So at least I've taken some of the pain off the table. And that's very, very important to realize, that when you are in kind of a late trend signal environment, when the trend signal trade has two modifiers. It should be early within trend, and it should be close to trend. If it's far away from trend, make it swing high. If it's late from trend, be sure to hedge your position, so at least you're not in too much danger of just complete loss on the trade, right? So you definitely, this was pretty clear that we have a lot of volatility going on here also. So it's pretty clear that we're not gonna get the full trade. So just all those, this is much more advanced nuances for us to trade to tackle. Generally, as the day progresses, all we really want to look at is slices, trends. When we get those situations, we're happy to take the trades and make them happen, right? Okay. Hey, how did you get the 5 on the sell side? Demetrius, how'd you get the 5? You came in late after me, or you came in early? I guess you must have gotten a better execution than I did. Are you trading CFDs? So you had that's what I was talking about, is that you had much better entries than I did, because my future signals just were late this time, and that happens. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Why is it down? Hold on a second. Why is it down? Let me see if this is working. I just want to make sure I have Arrow Trader, edit, down. Huh. I wonder why. Close. I'm trying to see why I'm not getting DAX and German. Why am I not getting those signals? Did I misname these signals? Let me see. I'm looking off screen for just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. I'm trying to see if my WAV files were misnamed. Continue. Shit. Yeah. Continuation sell, and I did it sell continuation. No wonder. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this in real time right now. This is always it's always fun when you screw up the little. Okay, I'm going to edit it's continuation by, not by continuation. I was like, why is it not making any sounds? Sorry. Let's do this. Continuation by dot wave. Oh, good. I'm glad we got this correct. Reversal by, continuation sell. Reversal sell. RS. Okay. So good. Save this as, okay, close. Save this as the German, as the DAX template. Yes. And then on the Dow, if I don't do this right, then we just won't get signals. It's CB continuation by. This is what happens when you're dyslexic. Reversal by, continuation by, continuation sell. reversal sell. Okay, now it should start making noises. rs.wave. Okay, good. So now we're going to save that as close this down, and I'm going to re-upload those. So if you downloaded those templates, delete them. Yes. Okay, now we're going to go File, Open Data Folder, Templates.
Euro dollar buy reversal arrow.
DAX, Dow, Control C, in here, Control V. That's my thing. Actually, let's just delete this. Delete. Control V. Oh, what? Okay. Good. Okay. Now we're going to upload this into the templates. I'm going to delete the old templates, and then you guys should be all set. So DAX and Dow. Delete. Delete. Now we're going to upload this. Open. Okay, cool. All right, you guys should have this now in the folder. So we had euro dollar signal. What's euro dollar signaling from the reverse? Not much of a signal here. Not really sure. We have trend. Like I said, we're going to try not to trade counter trend. I mean, we can trade counter trend in the room just for fun, but so we have sell, first counter trend. No, it's actually three. I guess three, 1, 2, 3, right? 3 fails. So I guess it's a pretty good counter trend reversal. I guess we could take this as a. We'll play this just for fun, but not. This is not the signals I really want to take. 5.
Pound dollar sell continuation arrow.
And now you hear it, right? Now you hear all the stuff. Okay, this is deep, deep, deep in the trend. There could be a continuation, but I actually really want to trade this to the reverse side now. Okay. All right, and we're going to try and buy this and see if that triggers us onto the buy side. Ah, close. Sorry, never mind. Never mind. Made a mistake. I want to set the buy against here. So it'd be like a 63, 64 entry. In the meantime, what's going on with NAS? Clearly wants to, obviously everybody knows the news. Everybody knows that the Dems did a blue sweep. I think that's ultimately positive because we're going to have expansionary fiscal policy, expansionary monetary policy. So it should be supportive. In the meantime, though, the news now in the marketplace is kind of very negative because the ADP numbers came out very poorly. We're going to live trade the NFPs, by the way, using all of these tactics. Kathy's going to join us sort of on a guest basis, but we're going to primarily focus on using arrow trading for all across the stuff with currencies and indices on Friday. I'll send out the link on that. But my point being is that the market sold off hard on the initial knee-jerk reaction that they wanted a mixed government. But actually, I think this is a much more positive scenario for the market, and you see that. For all the selling that's going on here, the market kind of wants to rally higher. We came down to 12,500 yesterday off the sell-off, and we kind of stabilized around it on a longer-term basis. So now, now we're back in trend, but you see the trend is kind of really, the trade here was the reversal trade. That was a great trade to the other side. Now we have to be kind of very patient to see if when trend develops, we get a signal arrow. Remember, trend, signal, trade. If we don't have all three of those, or trend and signal, we don't have a trade, even though it's very tempting to just chase this move to the upside, because it's not going to be a high probability move. Meantime, I have orders here.
German reverse buy.
German reverse buy. Same idea, sort of like that. So here's German. Let's set up the German too. Same idea that, we've had a little bit of a sell-off. This is, again, reversal trades is not what I want to be trading, but I'm trading it here because I just want to create some trading opportunities and at least stay within the structure that we know and love, which is, in this case, it would be trend, counter signal, trade, right? So this is a counter signal and trade, and the counter signals can be either a break of the high of the buys or a break of the high of the sells. But what in a reversal signal, we're obviously looking for the counter signal, and that's a good way of thinking about it. Demetrius is saying he is going to take the euro-dollar sell if this fails. That's interesting. So Demetrius is actually selling this move to the downside. Dollar, a little bit of dollar strength. I don't, dislike this idea. I don't dislike this idea. This is basically a continuation trade, right? So it's just a long-term trend continuation trade that he is putting up. So we could actually set this up. We could play this. I gotta set up the. Oh no, it's fine. Okay. Did I? It actually broke. So let's. If you're gonna trade, are you in this trade, Demetrius, on the sell side to the short side? Okay, I'm going to join him just for fun, because this is the buy candle. The buy candle's lows got taken out cleanly. It's going into a double bottom over here, so there's a lot of support here. But it's kind of a third continuation trade, not nearly as high a probability trade. It's just our first trade and break, but at least it's within structure, and we got nothing else going on right now, so might as well just give that a shot. What's going on with the Dow? Let me just set up the the applet, just so that we're ready for it. Euro, German. So the German buy triggered. Where's the German buy? This is a German buy reversal triggered here. Okay, and I'm actually fooling around. Where's my German buy here? I'm fooling around. I just honestly, usually our thing is 40-10, but I wanted to see, because on the on the CFD side, every point is equivalent. So whether you're making so little on the future side, I really wanted to go 10. But on the is it opening up? Oh wow, market is really opening up. So yeah, we're really rocking on the open here. Let's see if the German can take us to full 5 at least here. I just being modest, trying to be modest and not greedy. So German takes us to full 5. The euro is floating, off that trade. So at least the German was a decent trade. There's nothing going on in NAS for us on the CFD side, or the future side. What is this thing? It's painting. So this is a big breakout candle on NAS, and NAS is doing its usual, tap dance up, tap dance down. And it's going to take at least first 10 minutes for us to see how they want to trade it. This is the reason why, obviously, I don't like trading the open on the NAS. Although there's always this one fun trade on the NAS, which we can just try, which is, move up, move down. If they
Dow continuation sell.
Dow continuation sell. That's deep in the trend. But we can, like, again, if you think that this is going to be a trend, we could certainly trade it. Trend signal. What is this? Oh, there it is. No, I want it over here. Where's my? I'm having a hard time with this. It's got to break this all the way to the lows. Got to break the low of this candle to be a legitimate sell signal. But we'll leave that there. Yeah, it looks like selling pressures. You see in the corner of my eye here, there's a sell candle on the NAS, but it's not in trend. It's out of trend because the trend is still positive. So it won't be a trade for me. Dow, in the meantime,
Nasdaq reverse sell.
Let's see. Oh, the Dow didn't take me in because of the volatility. There's a lot of volatility filter here. Let's just I'm going to fool around with a Dow, and I'm going to pay the price probably because the candle was so volatile. Like, this is, I always go against the volatility filter, and I almost always pay for it. But I'm just having fun here, just trying to see if I could no, and I'm going to pay for it. See, I paid for it as always. Don't ever let me go against the volatility filter. And the volatility filter basically says if the move in the candle is so large that it's larger than your stop, then you can't make the trade. And see, the algo kept me from the trade, and I overrode it like an idiot. Okay, so broke the rule, paid the price. So lots of volatility here on the NAS. Trend turns negative, so we don't have. I was going to say if the trend stayed positive, we would have a buy signal against this arrow, but we don't have anything right now. In the meantime, your euro trade is working. Where's my euro? It was very, very close. Okay, euro trade worked. Good job. So Demetrius's trade worked very, very well. So trades that I stayed to the structure, I did not violate the rules, worked. And as you can see, good job, Demetrius. You get a clap. Demetrius gave us an idea. I'm actually, please feel free to tell me what you guys are trading so I can share those ideas. Is it clap? What the hell's going on here?
Pound dollar sell continuation arrow.
Clap. I'm trying to give you a clap. Share with me, your thoughts because I'm happy to if they're within structure, we're happy to trade them. Okay, pound dollar. We had a audible on that. What's going on here? That's a what? There's no pound. There's no. Oh, this one. It's a sell signal that's very, very deep. In trend has already kind of been very, very deep, and in fact, I would be more tempted to trade this on the reversal side. Also, not a great. But I would trade this on the reversal side against this candle. So let's just see if that. That works on a pound. So if it comes back up towards the 57s, back up, through the move, we're going to trade this on a reversal just because we've already had a very, very strong trend. We've had a bottoming here. Now it makes fresh lows. Yeah, that could be another great continuation sell to the lows. and I'd have to respect that. But matter of fact, we could, if you guys want to play around with this, this is not a bad idea. It's just do a straddle and see if this breaks the lows. We're basically on both sides, trying to see which way the market wants to take it. NAS trying to struggle back up towards the 600 level on the futures. So in this case, we can use this reference point as, it's already running away from me. Let's see if I can make this. Oh, no, it's running away. Yeah, nope, I guess it's not gonna hear. So the idea here is trend up this reference point. If it clears through this, it looks like they want, after the initial sell-off, they wanted to gun this up. So I'm willing to let them play it. Although I don't think this is such a big volatility move. I think it's gonna just not allow me to take the trade. And I'm not gonna override the volatility filter like I have before, because you see, it's just a stupid thing to do. I think the volatility filter is huge here. So it's like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, see the volatility filter. What happens is if it's above the volatility filter, it just simply goes to zero. It refuses to take a trade, which is fair enough. I mean, we could chase this, but that is really a stupid trade. Meantime, I think the pound triggered the buy. As I was saying, the reversal here may be the right trade. So I'm just, I'm gonna nurse the reversal here to see if we can get anything off the pound reversal as a bottoming trade here. And this is the reason why you don't trade the volatility filter, because it can retrace your whole stop before it actually reestablishes the move, right? So there's a reason why I have it, and there's a reason why I should never ignore it. I only ignore it because I want to get into trades. All right, watching the pound here. What's NAS doing? NAS is doing nothing. What's the Dow doing? Okay. German. So the German worked. I totally forgot. The German worked. The euro worked. So that was good. I totally forgot that we had the German in there. So not much signals right now anywhere. Where's the euro? Euro also kind of reversing a little bit here, as I thought risk flows might work a little better. Okay, pound, come baby, come, do your thing. Super close. All right, I'm going to take the pound at 4. Good enough. It's going to take 5, but whatever. It wasn't a. It is actually this. I really the reversal trade. That's very when we get long sell off, and then the moving averages start to bunch up, right? And you start to see the pressure to the other side, the counter signal. The counter signal starts to signal you. It's not a horrible trade. It's not like I don't want you to think that that's a bad trade. It's just it is subject to failure where the trend, they make the counter trend move and then it just fails and goes right back down. So that's why it's just not as high a probability trade, but tactically certain moments in a day when you see that, or if you just, if your personality is really geared towards looking for that type of pattern, that is the pattern. I mean, if you're going to trade reversal, this is the only way to trade reversal. It's the only way to trade reversal is after sort of a deep trend. You have a flattening of the moving averages as the price refuses. Basically, the way you want to look at it is you have trend, price refuses to make fresh lows. This is on a downtrend. And then you have constant buildup of the move the other way. Then you can, then you just sort of take the momentum and let price go the other way. And you similarly, same idea on the reversal side. Let me just find you guys. Okay, so here we go. Here's, oops, shoot. And maybe that's, the reason why I like trading pound is because pound is just sort of like the poster child for really good quality reversal trades, right? But the thing, so remember, what you want is, you want the, like for example, this is not a reversal signal because this is only the first. This is truly the first signal in trend, right? You want it to be at least second or third sell signals, right? Where it's just kind of it's looking to get tired. Probably, I would say, really, I think the rule of thumb is with the reversals, you want to look for maybe the third or more. Once you get to the third or more, and it starts, stops making fresh highs, like if it hasn't made fresh highs after a third sell signal on the uptrend, that's probably a decent break over here. Obviously gives you a good reversal signal, right? Just like over here, we're in a downtrend, and we've had, this is all essentially a continuous downtrend. We have 1, 2, 3.
Nasdaq continuation buy.
Oh my goodness. Nasdaq continuation buy. That's it. That's an uptrend signal. So we're going to buy this. See if I can make it against this breakout move here. So it's got to clear this. Let's see if it can do that and stay within our volatility constraints. It's a lot of there's just so much volatility now that it's hard. But let's see if that creates a vol trade for us. The reason why you're hearing double is because I have 2 accounts, and they're both going to be broadcasting that sound file. But you see how, like with Audibles, it's so much better because you're not looking. You first hear it, then you can look at it, and that's just a much better way of evaluating if you have a possible scalp setup or not. I think, unfortunately, this looks like it's going to be a 20-point candle. It's not going to. It's going to stay. It's not going to let me. It's not going to put me into a trade on this trade. I'm going to put the same thing on the CFDs just for fun. Buy against this. Let's see if on the CFD side it actually does it. Nope. Okay. So neither futures nor CFDs gets triggered, which is okay because now now the candle may be a little bit smaller and more digestible, and just to show you, this is the reason why this setup is so good is that you're not getting it didn't close the highs, so you are not put into a trade that instantaneously goes against you, right? The momentum just wasn't there. It's a critical variable. We're always trading momentum. We're trading essentially momentum within trend or momentum within counter trend. It's always about momentum. So this is kind of having a hard time breaking through. Where are we? It's 15 minutes into the open. Market is coming into the New York Open down, correct? I mean, like we're at 800 on the open. Sell off on the Dem blue wave idea, but looks like the dip buyers are coming in. So to me, it's sort of if the market shrugs off this move, it's bullish longer term. it suggests that investors still remain jubilant about near-term growth. So we'll see if this holds. But it needs to hold. If we can't really start breaking out, moving towards back to the 700s, this will be a sell-off day, and we'll just have to look for sell signals. Just curious to see. Okay, can't hold it, can't hold it. So we're gonna let this candle complete, and then I can take my eye off the ball here for a second. Just curious to see where cable is. Yeah, cable would have just hit 5 and it would have been it. That's fine. That's fine. Where's German? No, nobody's doing anything. German has no signals. Dow has no signals, although Dow is much, much stronger than the, big breakout in NAS. So this was it's unfortunately not going to trigger us again because a huge volatility breakout, and probably not going to trigger me on the CFD as well. But, clearly big breakout. And that's, sometimes that's the whole point, the big profit move may get away from you, but in the long run, the advantage is that you're not taking any fake. You don't take any fake out trades. If you taken the breakout trades here, this could have easily been a fake out move. This clearly got confirmed. It's a lot of momentum, but huge volatility. So neither one of these trades triggered. So we don't have a trade. So frustrating, but good risk management techniques. All the profit was in the trigger candle. So we just have to let that go. All right, what do we got here? 12 minutes, kind of a slow morning so far. By the way, so while we have a little bit of a moment, did you
Euro dollar by continuation arrow?
Have you guys had a chance to download on your own computers, and are the templates working? Okay, so euro dollar here, breakout trend. I mean, it's we're going to try and put ourselves into this trade. Let me see, where am I? Put this above the candle. So this is very small. And when you're trading currencies, it's literally a tenth of a pip one way, tenth of a pip the other way. But we'll put ourselves here. If this holds the highs here, that's a reasonable trend trade, because we do have just a beginning of a trend, a signal in the right trend, and possibility here of euro maybe making a little bit of a reversal. As clearly risk flows, you can just see how correlated they are.
Nasdaq reverse sell.
Okay, so Nasdaq is a reverse sell. Remember what we said, we talked about reverse sell. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Let me just remove this. So this is super stretched. So for me to have this legitimated, I have to have the swing high taken out. So I'm going to put a buy up here, but well above, not the swing. I'm going to the swing high, which is this candle. So I am essentially going to be trading a breakout of this big move. That means we really, they really want to ramp it up hard. But if they can't close it above fresh highs in this particular uptrend, I'm not going to trip myself into a trade unnecessarily. We can do the same thing on the NDX here, right here. Oh, it broke out. So so I'm watching this. I'm going to have to do this manually if I'm having, God, man, my computer is just all slow today. The screen, I think I have too many things open. So if this holds, I'm just going to I'm going to trigger off the futures. If the futures puts me into a trade, I have 24, 25 seconds, plenty of time here for this thing. If futures puts me into a trade, I'll follow with NDX manually. If it doesn't put me into a trade, then I'm not going to follow. Oh, see, doesn't hold the highs. Does not hold the highs. Look at that. And that, oh, let's see. See, and that's what I mean. So, okay, I'm going to stay on this level. Let me see if I can. Oh, the euro got done. Sorry, you guys saw that? Euro got done. Let me see if I can do the buy against here. This would be against this high. And again, I want to swing high. I'm really forcing myself to for the market to really chase. This is a very, very, very overextended move, and I only want to trade it if it's so strong that it creates fresh highs. And if it doesn't create fresh highs, I'm not going to trade it. And that's how we avoid unnecessary losses, right? Generally, as I said, what we want is the start of a trend, not the big extension of a trend. We're only going to trade this if it's so strong that it kind of takes us in on fresh highs. Here we had lots of opportunities. We just couldn't get the trade to work because of volatilities, because the volatility breakouts were so strong, and that happens on the open when you have such big moves. Okay, so this is making fresh highs now, and we're going to see if it can hold those highs, and just watch this trade flow. And it doesn't.
Dow continuation buy.
Okay, Dow. Let's go look at the Dow. So Dow has, okay, so here we're too late in the sense that this candle is already above the arrow highs. So the only way we can trade the Dow is manually. Like, in other words, if this candle closes through the highs, we can chase it for a manual trade, which I don't really love doing, because it's gonna. The other thing is we have to now kind of manually assess. This is a 40, 50 point candle. It's way too large as far as volatility goes for us. Okay, I have to move this back up. It's got to close fresh highs. Not doing it. See what I'm in a way I'm avoiding getting into a trade, but that's in a way what you want when you're so high up on the moves. This actually put me into a NASDAQ move because I forgot to move the arrows on NASDAQ, so you guys can watch it just for educational purposes and see if that trade works or doesn't. NASDAQ, it's so much there's so much momentum right now that it may actually work, but it's a much less high probability trade at this point, right? It couldn't hold the highs. We kind of tripped this in here. Maybe it makes one final burst to fresh highs, but I wouldn't want to hold this in my own account, which I'm not in my own account, because I'm just holding this for curiosity's sake, and I'm almost certain that that's not going to work. I'm almost certain that's going to be a fake trade, and it's almost in a way I think it's kind of good for us to see the bad trades as well as the good ones, just to understand why you're not doing something. Why you're not doing something, right? So actually on the Dow, I'm watching this because if we close through, I'm a little bit late in setting this up. They're really, really strong moves here. No, I'm not going to take this Dow trade, but so when you're looking at price action, I mean, obviously it's very, very bullish price action, but that's not the question when I ask. The question when I ask is this price action a high probability setup for future bullish price action? And the answer here is clearly not a high probability setup because it's so overextended. It's overextended both away from the moving averages and from just kind of an uninterrupted move up. And you see that the NAS just yeah, look at that. So this is a great example. This is I wanted to see the NAS fail just to show you why I traded my own account differently, obviously, because that was not a high probability trade, right? Coming in here, it just didn't, was way, way overextended. And you could see the market couldn't hold the highs on every one of these candles, suggesting that there was more sellers than buyers at fresh highs, not a bullish signal. I think it's really, really good for us sometimes to see the failed trades. That's why I'm going to try and do a few failed trades every day as examples of what not to do as well. So anyways, that's not, this is not clearly didn't set up for us. It looks like this is just gonna expire worthless. Same thing with the Dow. I didn't chase it because it was too high. The German doesn't have any signals. On the currencies, which worked very well for us both ways. So Euro worked to the upside. Cable worked to the upside, Euro worked to the downside. So we have 15 points in the currencies. We have 5 points in German on a legitimate trade. And that's it. I don't think we have anything else legitimately that we traded. Everything else was either a volatility fail or a swing high fail, right? Those are things that you want to avoid in order to avoid unnecessary losses. Is that clear to everybody? Is everybody clear as to what's going on over here? Does anybody have any questions for me? And I think it's the thing that what was great about us in terms of doing Zooms is we're always obviously looking for the good trades, but I think it's really important for us to demonstrate the bad trades, because if it's easy for me to talk about why it's a bad trade, but if I demonstrate why it's a bad trade, I think it's going to be much better to sink in your mind as to what not to do. Good job. Did you trade Dow on the breakout today? Because the Dow obviously had a really strong breakout on the open today. Good job. So retail ramped it up. Now we're starting to take it down a little bit. So now, by the way, if we want to pursue the theme here, now it looks like we might be turning negative trend here, and I'm gonna watch this a little bit carefully. But if this is a negative trend, if this is just consolidation, perhaps to fresher highs, now you can set the reference point right above this high, because you've had the sell-off. The whole point is you didn't want to chase the sell up or the buy up until there was some profit relief. Now there's profit relief. You're not buying overbought conditions. You're going to be buying you want to be buying breakout conditions, not overbought conditions. I guess that's really the key thing. That's really the nuance of the setup. You want to be buying breakout conditions, not overbought conditions. So it means you want to be relatively early to the move, not relatively late. That's the difference between a successful strategy versus a low probability strategy. My friend Jamie Satel always says that the greatest trend starts from counter trend, and that's sort of the same theme that the breakout conditions from a sell-off are always going to be literally the bottom of the move, right? The best price for the move. But it's harder to assess that versus breakout conditions from an early trend move. All of this, as you watch this, yesterday I was trading the election by myself. I was up to like 4 a.m, so that's why I'm so exhausted today. And I was really, for the first time in my life, I was really in sync with the market, because when you understand all these nuances,
Euro dollar by continuation arrow.
When you understand all these nuances, and then you apply them to whatever the news flow is. So originally there was when the Democrats started winning, they started selling, and I wonder if I have. I don't know if I have. Does this go back? Let me see. I wonder if I have history of this. I just want to kind of share. Maybe I could share the history with you guys. I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I think it erases the history. Does it erase my history? Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. So it does. You can see some history over here. Yeah, you can really see some of the history over here. So this is yesterday. You see, news comes out bad, right? It starts breaking down the trend levels. I'm not even like trading it super great, but I'm basically trading in sync with the news. News comes out that forces price to be bad, and I am basically taking signals off of the setup. So this was a break over here. I took this down. There were, on the other side, there were reversal breaks. When the market kind of sold off and got enough of, it realized that this wasn't the end of the world for it to have a blue wave. I got long on these moves back up to the upside in the other account. And it was just, it just becomes a lot easier to trade news when you have an intelligent technical structure, which helps you enter the news at the right time, which is, sort of where we go here. So the uptrend holds. The immediate reference source is here. We may get a fresh early, different arrow here, which will reset our values. But for now, our operating conditions is that we're going to trade against this breakout arrow here, because now the profit-taking conditions have taken hold, and if the trend does not hold, if we start going down, it's fine. We're going to
Nasdaq reverse sell.
We'll reorient ourselves, and I guess Nasdaq reverse sell on the CFDs. Yeah. So here's this is where the CFDs sometimes give us much better earlier signals, right? So here we're still in uptrend. This is the Nasdaq value, gives us an earlier, if this holds, in other words, if this candle holds and the trend doesn't turn negative, we can trade this back up to the upside on the assumption that everybody in retail is still buying the market, still holding it up. On futures, of course, I don't have that reference point, so I can't trade it. But let's see if on the CFDs this triggers us into a trade. Okay, we're in trade. And I'll just take it. I'll take it at 5. Good. And so this is a good example of where the CFDs obviously were early, helped us, and as of the final trade of the day, worked perfectly fine. But all within the rules of the structure. And you notice, by the way, that I was like, the reason why I wasn't super eager on this is because this is quite late. This is sort of like the second gasp of the bulls. All it was going to do is just give us a tiny bit of move. Maybe this move is just consolidation to a fresh highs, and that would be great. But maybe this is just a pause to a reversal. We don't know this. What we do know is that we have a setup and we have a controlled take profit that gives us the high probability of making the trades. So in this case,
Nasdaq continuation buy.
Okay, so now it finally shows up on futures. So I can trade this futures now on the future side if I wanted to. Again, assuming that the volatility doesn't blow me out, that this doesn't blow me out on the vol side. But anyways, I'm going to leave you guys as you know, as I got to go. We have a lot of stuff to be ready for next week. We're actually going to be doing a 2021 outlook. So I'm a free webinar, so I'm preparing for that. But you get the idea. You know, you get the good idea that proper setup in combo with you know, with the market flow. That's where you're going to get all those positive trades. So actually, it's good. We where am I? Yeah, I guess we're close. At least we made 20-25 points on legitimate trades, and then, you know, all the other trades were illegitimate because they were, you know, I either did a chase trade or I just showed you negative trades. So let me see if I have any final questions. Where am I? Where are you guys? Any final questions? Any thoughts on your mind, guys? Are we good? Anybody take that trade on the CFDs, the CFD traders? Good job, Connie. Yeah, it was nice. You know, nice clean move. Paul, thank you. Everybody have a great day. Tomorrow, same thing. Tell me if the templates and everything else is working for you. I just want to make sure that all the stuff is there. All right. All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see you later.